What's up, Astro Bae? It's your girl, the Heaux Healer, aka the Astro Heaux, and I'm here to let you know. What's up, Astro Bae? It's your girl, the Heaux Healer. What's up, Astro Bae? It's your girl, the Heaux Healer, aka the Astro Heaux, and we are back with yet another video. I think I'm crazy. The way I've been craving. Guess I put it quite plainly. Just give me the baby. So what you doing today? This video is gonna be all about your soulmate and how to use your birth chart to figure out who your soulmate is, what your soulmate is like, and the qualities of your soulmate. No, it's not going to tell you whether this person is going to be tall, dark, handsome, blonde, blue eyes. It's just going to give you the simple qualities of what your soulmate is going to be like, and possibly where you may meet them, right? So, step one. The first thing is you want to look for your Jupiter and Venus signs. Jupiter is for women and Venus is for men. Obviously, if you're someone who likes the same sex, you will look for Venus if you're into women, and if you are into men, you will look for Jupiter, right? So you want to look for where Jupiter is in your chart and what house and what sign it. So we'll use me as an example, right? So I have Jupiter in my 5th house in the sign of Libra. Okay, so just thinking about like Libra qualities, and how you can figure out the Libra qualities is you essentially could just look at the house, right? So Libra rules relationships, marriage, contracts, business partners, equality, sharing, interpersonal styles, right? So my person may be very really, because you just kind of have to think about like how Libra is and what Libra is really all about. And just the sign of Libra itself is all about balancing and essentially justice and things of that sort. So it could mean that my person may be in the governmental field. My person may, work. My person may be a lawyer, or my person may be someone who really balances out my energy, because that's what Libra energy is really about. It's really about the scales and like balancing things out. Or my partner could really be a lover, because Libra is about partnerships. The 7th house is about partnerships, and that's what they rule. So, my person is really a lover, really affectionate, and just I'm just trying to think of all qualities of like a Libra person, but it's definitely going to be something of the essence of that, essentially. So then, after you figure that out, the next thing you want to look is look at your 7th house, because obviously the 7th house is what rules partnerships. Is what rules marriage, right? So over my 7th house, I have Sagittarius. Now, luckily for me, this kind of double backs on just the fact that my person is going to be very Libra-esque, because like I said, my 7th house is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So essentially what you would do is you would look to your 7th house and look to the ruler of your 7th house. So say for instance, the ruler of your 7th house is Gemini, which would make you a Sagittarius rising. You would look to where Mercury is and in that planet. So once again, like I said, my Jupiter is in Libra, and Sagittarius is the and Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So I would look back to my 5th house. So mine is also in my 5th house, because the 5th house the house also explains, a lot about your person. So what does the 5th house rule? The 5th house is actually the house of Leo. So my person may be very Leo-esque as well, just very has Leo qualities, very affectionate, very romantic. That's something a Libra trait as well, very romantic. But not only that, but my person may be fun, just with it also being in Sagittarius, my person may like to travel. I may marry someone in a foreign place, or I may marry a foreigner, just because Sagittarius rules travel, it rules foreign places, it rules education. And I think also, I may want a partner who we continuously educate one another, because I'm a Gemini rising, and essentially my 7th house is Sagittarius, both of which rule knowledge, so I may want a partner that really wants to educate me on certain things, you know, maybe on foreign policies. I may have a person that even just the fifth house, and just like with the fifth house rules, because fifth house rules romance, fun, joy, children. So I may meet a person who's like just really fun. I'm kind of like childlike. That brings me back to my, like, the essence of my childhood, things of that such, right? So so let's get back into it. Sorry, I kind of just jumped. So the first step would be to identify, you know, where your Jupiter and your Venus is in your chart. The second step would be to look to your seventh house and your seventh house ruler and figure out where it is. So example again, if your seventh house is ruled by Gemini, you would then look for Mercury, where Mercury is in your chart. Let's say Mercury is in your third house, right? So the third house rules what? The third house already rules communication. So you might deal with someone who is very communicative, you know, someone that really likes to talk, someone that really enjoys talking, or they may talk for a living. They may be a teacher. They could have their own podcast. They could what else? Anything. They could be a writer, they could be a journalist, you know, they can be anything that involves that. But those would just be the qualities. This person may really be about communication and communicating with you, and that may be something that you need. So then let's say, just going back to the first step, let's say your Venus was in your this is for men. If Venus was in your fourth house of Leo, well, you know, your person, she could be very family oriented. You know, she could also be very beautiful. She could be very beautiful anyway, because all women are beautiful. But she could be very beautiful. She could be very family oriented. She may she could come from a lot of money, or she could have a lot of money, because the fourth house rules you know, family, home as well. She could come from a lot of money. She could make a lot of money. She could have like a really beautiful house. But just thinking of it like, okay, Venus in the fourth house, in what sign? Let's say Venus, oh, I said Venus in the fourth house of Leo, right? So, you know, she may be very confident, very affectionate, very romantic. And she may also have like this, you know, just like this just Leo-esque things, like, you know, very strong personality. You know, she could be a little fiery, but she's definitely going to be someone that makes you think of like a homey feeling, for sure. Definitely someone that makes you feel at home with her. You may feel at home with that person. So you really want to look to those aspects to figure out where your soulmate is, or who your soulmate is, and what are the personalities and the traits of your soulmate. So let me know how this video worked out for you. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe and comment below and let me know what are the traits of your soulmate. Thank you for watching. XOXO, the Astro Hoe.